So when you see comments like that, that's what makes me think they just trying to fuck on.
I wanted to say that it's not just about sex. When I seen that, I was like, it ain't just about sex.
Marcus,
Yeah.
when I see comments like that,
I know,
that's all
I
I'm
know.
thinking, man.
I know him.
That's the only thing I'm thinking. And now you can't tell me no different. I'm seeing multiple comments now talking about that's all they care about. Okay, I might be wrong. My bad.
No, you probably did. I'm saying no, that is not all about sex. This is about building community and family. There was multiple comments saying that in the comment chat. So your solution with bringing multiple people into one home, your brother's family, your family, or in one region, right, where y'all isolated and controlled and consolidated, raise your family the way you want it with no outside interferences. Y'all was maybe able to guard and do all these extra things because of the time allotment for that many people going in on a goal. I think that's admirable, and if you can achieve that, then and if you want to do that, that's something I think you should go for. I'm not knocking that. I'm saying the majority of, to Kenny's point, the majority of the relationships between us, instead of us bonding together, we get to the point where it's hyper-individualism. So I'll create my family, go off and be isolated from the original family. When our families first came over from in the Great Migration, they did that. What you're talking about, Hank, we did that about 2-3 generations ago. We did that in bulk. That's what most people did. They was sending back money to get people to stop sharecropping and move to the major cities like Chicago, Detroit, California, several different places. And we did that, and we flourished. That's when we had better numbers as far as our families, our home ownership was higher, and our gross wealth in comparison per capita from right now to then was higher on average. What is it? Group economics is a thing that we should be utilizing, but because we have hyper individualism, we don't. When I propose polygamy, I think it's not for everybody, right? I'm not saying that everyone should go out and do that. I'm saying if that's what somebody wanted to do and they're capable of it, and they can treat women without deference, without showing favoritism to one person or the other, they can make sure their house is together, they have a common bond, a goal, then they can utilize that stuff to reach a desired outcome that's much more favorable than what can be done individually, where we exercise in hyper individualism. And that's not to say everyone has to do it or you should do it. That's not, that's not the argument.
So Marcus, you can have a favorite, you just can't show a favorite so they don't notice it.
No, you just have to exist without
How
deference.
do you not have favorite? What if
do you got multiple kids? Do you got multiple kids?
What if she? Huh?
Do you have more than one child?
Yeah, I have 2.
Do you have a favorite child?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have a favorite.
I love all my kids equally, but they different personalities, so I appreciate different things.
Marcus, when you sit there and say it, you lying to yourself.
No, I love my kids differently. Like for each one, like this one right here, she's more sweet. This one right here, we can have a more critical conversation because she gonna push back and we have fun with that. My son not speaking yet, so I don't know exactly what it is that I'm gonna appreciate about him, but I love them all equally.
What was the point towards what I said though?
Let your son take more so in art, and your daughter take more so in sports, and you're a sports guy, you're gonna favor her.
And if I start doing that, then I would have to check myself. Right. No, if I did, no, I'm saying it's possible, but I would try and check myself. No, I would make sure I say, look, I'm giving it, because one thing you could, when you I feel energy, right? And I could feel when somebody feel like they're not getting enough attention. I could feel when somebody feel like they're being left out. And I'm gonna make it my business to make a more concerted effort to try and be there for that child, so they don't feel pushed to the side or feel.
You don't think one wife can make you feel different than the other wife?
Think it'd be different. I just think it's different.
Huh?
So I just think it's different. I'm trying to figure out one thing though. You talking about how is polygamy building a community? How is that?
Is that a question that you're really asking?
Yeah, yes. Hold on one second.
Polygamy builds an environment under strong leadership. Everyone falls in their place, and you have actual thriving societies and countries, many countries in Africa. So the stats are there. As for what we do over here, it is more difficult for, let's just use us. Black folk to get together as a collective in a community on a larger scale and accomplish something. That's why we're the last ones with financial literacy, growth as for homes, growth as for, policy change and things of that nature, because we don't come together. Like, even you just said it and you didn't realize you said it. I'm going to get mine. We're going to build and we're going to think about us. You're not going to care about me or anybody else. And that was the error. That, in my opinion, that was the error in what you said, because you just proved the point that we don't work together as a collective and build a community on a macro level. You said, I'm going to have me, my family, my 10 acres that's named after my family, and I'm going to seclude myself from the rest. Did you not say that?
Yeah, that's what I said. But I don't have a problem with bringing in more like-minded people, though. You don't have to look. If you're like-minded like me, Kenny, then you're more than welcome. But if you're about that bullshit ass polygamy shit, and that's not what I'm trying to influence and teach my kids or our kids.
Why you got to go that far?
My bad.
Hey, JR, can you highlight that comment, Sweeney?
I'm just not going to do that. So I'm trying to figure out, because a community is a multitude of families. A polygamy, that's just one goddamn family.
So a community is a social unit. It's a group of living things with a shared socially significant characteristics such as place, set of norms, culture, religion, values, customs, or identity. So it doesn't have a list where how you form the community, what it comprises of. And Sweeney, we already know Sweeney.
Wait, hold on. Let me hold Sweeney at the gallows for this one. Now, name the top 5 black billionaires and where they live. Since that statement holds value and you wanted to bring it up, Darwin. Black folks have progressed further in America than any other black population on this planet, which is a lie. Name the top 5 black billionaires and where you can find them. Go.
Why are you talking about billionaires? You know, Warren Buffett is a polygamist.
Hold on. So
I know what I said.
The reason why I asked him to highlight that comment is because I don't know who it was, but somebody made a statement about black people being able to operate on a large scale. So if Sweeney usually comes from statistics, he rarely quotes
the stat. That's bull. Bring up the stat. You bring up the stat to prove what he just said.
Can I just finish what I'm saying?
Whoa,
he rarely quotes stuff out of his ass. So I give him that much respect. If I didn't know this, I would have never told him to highlight.
No, the reason you added.
I told you the reason why I added, and you not letting me finish.
No. You didn't. Yeah, we gotta let him finish his statement. It adds credence to your ignorance.
No, Kenny, let's not go with the insult.
You being a fucking bully tonight, Kenny.
I'm just trying to have a conversation with you, and everybody on this panel know I can really be a dickhead. I can go back to my old name Bruiser and be a dickhead, but I'm trying to change my life, man.
Well, what does that mean?
Listen, this is King talk. Out of respect, you can come on Thursday show, then we can get it. But this is King talk, out of respect for this space right here, specifically on Tuesdays.
Well, what does that
try
mean?
To maintain a little bit of.
We try to have a different decorum on Tuesday.
No. What, Bruiser? What does that mean?
I mean, you coming out saying I'm ignorant. I'm talking ignorance. All I'm saying is Did I say F you, or did I say your statement? Still not letting me. You asked me.
I can't get. We gotta let him finish.
All I'm saying is the gentleman.
I was just making a point, JR. Did I say F you? Did I say that statement was ignorant? Did I attack him personally?
That's still like.
Okay. Watch this.
I think I think it might be a
demographic. Come on, Kenny. You still gotta let him finish, and then you can rebuttal.
I think it's a demographics thing. Your country, you might not look at that type of the way you're approaching the conversation as disrespectful, but I'll give you that pass. But to get back to the point I was making is I've speaking on panels with this man named Sweeney, and to his credit, he rarely quotes things out of his ass. And if he does, he will correct himself. So I give him that much credit. That's the reason why I made the comment, because you had asked earlier, you said, where in America do Black people move together on a large scale to get things done as a community? And he made a comment saying that Black people are making more progress than any other people on the planet as far as the same skin tone. And I was going to ask you and whoever, do you have a rebuttal for that? I didn't make the statement.
I will have a question for it.
That's not what you said. So I'm gonna stay quiet. That's why I'm listening.
My question is he mean like progression from slavery to this point, or is he saying progression as far as building wealth or building large scale businesses, buildings? Or I would need some more clarity and context of what he was saying as far as the progression was.
Marcus, those two things you brought up, he would be dead wrong. We gave free labor for how many years? So where's the progression? As for goods and services and things that are commodities to us, where do we land on that scale compared to Africa on a whole 54 continents? I mean 54 countries. I need to see the stats.
It's not negligible.
If Bruiser took me saying the statement was ignorant and took it personally, you understand? I'm not taking it back because I didn't say you.
You don't have to.
The statement.
You don't have to. I'm not asking you to take it back.
No. Okay, so you're not listening. I said the statement. And you could be Bruiser, whatever you think you are. I don't do the tough thing. You understand? That takes no place here. You understand? I said the statement itself. You wanted it brought up. I've spoken on panels with Sweeney. He's brought up a lot of stats, but that one he has to clarify, because I know that to be that's not the case. He said America. I'm comparing Africa to America. Per his statement, he is wrong, and he showed me the stat.
Well, I'll say this. I don't have a stat to prove or wherever he got it from, but I will say this. I don't see anybody coming from America to go and find freedom, to find careers and find jobs. And I don't see people traveling and migrating out of America into Africa in hopes of being able to feed their family and establish some type of foundation. And I see the what's happening in reverse. So to that much knowledge that I have on that, and I haven't done the research, I would say that Americas must create a space for people to thrive in. We must be at some point ahead of other countries if we're making this place the international mecca of society in general.
Okay, so us as Black people, or us as a country?
In regards to what?
A country. Answer the country.
You're saying like America? To my America?
Blacks or America? There's two different divides in that.
Well, I'm saying African American people.
Okay, so before I heard what you said, and I'm not going to use the I word again because you get sensitive, but I would love for you to show me the stats. I have no problem chopping it up with you and going over it to see where you see this on a larger level and where you're getting your numbers from.
No, I didn't. That's why I said I don't have a stat, but I said
you just stood on it.
If Kenny, if he was addressing the wealth consolidation, I think Blacks or Africans in America will have the highest wealth of accumulation in the world. But I don't think it corresponds to the initial point of manufacturing or building or large scale means of production.
Okay, Marcus, if you use that, you still have to quantify how far in the arrears we are with free labor, and then put that number. And then he said, since we've been here, correct?
Yeah. Again, this is my argument. I was trying to provide clarity.
I just want to be clear that I'm not I'm not going too far with it. He said,
no, you're not going too far, but I don't understand the arrears part of free labor. Like, what do you mean by that?
Okay, pull back up what he said.
So
I'll make
arrears might mean, if you correct me if I'm wrong, the negative wealth value that we were, because we were for 400 years unpaid.
for
So
free labor,
like reparations, shit like
yeah,
that.
No,
it was like
no
20
reparation.
trillion to we 20
Quantify
trillion
the money that this country made off of black labor toward what he said question wise. Pay attention. I paid attention to what he said.
I get it with the arrears part. You're saying that there's a debt to be owed first.
There's
before
a debt owed that you have to subtract.
That you got
whatever you made here, you
got to differentiate from what was lost in the free labor. I get what you're saying.
So
let me ask you this. That labor, you're saying that labor wasn't free? Was it illegal?
Yeah, it was.
You saying it was illegal?
Yeah.
It was legal. No, it was legal.
No, it was illegal.
No, it was legal. It was legal.
It was illegal.
Now that's where the disconnect is at, because from my understanding, I'm not a history buff, but someone was conquered and taken into free labor.
Here's where it became illegal. When certain things were said to be given. I'm gonna just use one example: 40 acres and a mule, and it wasn't given. If a contract states a certain thing, I make a contract with you, Darwin, and I don't fulfill the terms of the contract. Is it still a binding contract or now null and void? If I don't fulfill the requirements that I said, I'm gonna give Darwin this, and Darwin gives me that, and I don't fulfill my part.
And I signed the contract.
We both signed the contract, and I don't fulfill my part of the contract.
You don't feel like you breached the contract.
That's a breach, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I said illegal.
So you're saying the people that was brought in here to slavery signed themselves over, and then the contract was breached?
A contract was given at a certain time. I'm excluding the time that they were brought here and used as indentured servitude. There was a point in time when agreements were made that they would get certain things for services rendered, and they never got them. Let's start from there. Everything beyond that point became illegal because there was a breach of contract.
What are you talking about?
You fight for me in the war, I will give you this. You do this for me, I'll give you 40 acres on a mule.
Are you saying Abraham Lincoln said?
Since you don't know what I'm talking about, Sweeney.
Are you talking
about
back up
your statement? Now you have to stand on it since you wanted to be up on the panel, which is fine. Now tell me your statement.
All right, so you made the argument that black people don't know how to stand together, and you tried to compare us to other countries.
No, repeat what I said to a T. I didn't say you stand together. What did I say?
We don't know how to. What did he say? You made the argument that if you lined up 10 black men, they can't move. You know what I mean? They don't know how to work together. Or how often do we have an example of them working together? And then you utilize.
Okay, so let me repeat it for you because I'm not gonna do telephone with you. I said us working as a collective on a macro scale. Show me where in America now that's successful, pretty much.
Well, then I have to use the history of us in this country. You're talking about a group that came from slavery.
And that's where you're gonna fall into a hole. Go.
No, well, then you got to let me finish before you assume what I'm going to say. You're talking about a group that lived in the belly of the beast their entire existence, and we've progressed further than any other group in America. I mean, in the world, as far as black people or melanated people are concerned, we have progressed the furthest. In fact,
it's a lie.
In fact, we are the reason why so many people run here right now. And to Bruiser's point, nobody's running to Africa. Nobody's running to Africa.
Where's your stats?
They're running here. As a matter of fact, to the point of all you got to do is Google. All you got to do is Google this, called the brain drain. Have you ever heard of that?
Okay. Yeah. I'm not asking things that you cite. I want your stats to prove that.
What's that? What stat are you looking for?
No, you made a statement.
No, you
said
said,
you were
what is
coming
it?
up here.
I said,
want to
running to Africa. What state are you asking for?
There ain't a stat necessary for that.
Okay, you see what's happening here, Marcus?
What's up?
What,
see what's happening
are
here?
you looking for? You
He
said
has someone to champion his cause. That's why I do what I do. So he doesn't have any
He's
stats.
just saying the same thing I said.
the same thing. I just said, what stat are you looking for? Tell me the stat you're looking for.
Okay, could you, if we brought back up what he said.
Nobody's running to Africa.
Okay, I can't get a word in edgewise. I'll wait.
Are you, well, because you keep saying what stat. So I'm going to try to get clarification about what you're asking for. I made a statement that said, you don't see people running to Africa to find a better living.
We're not doing that. We're going back to the initial thing.
Some people do.
Wait, so you said, I said you see everybody running here. Now, what stat are you looking for?
Man,
we're going back to the original thing you wrote. Here's what actually happens. They come here, they get educated, and they go home.
No, they don't. Most of them don't go back home.
And
I just looked at most of them do not go back.
You drunk? No, I'm not letting you off. Wait. I'm not letting you off.